Heather Mackenzie breeds thoroughbreds on her farm just north of Auckland. She's owned both horse trucks and floats in her time. Less than 12 months ago she made the decision to purchase her van from Horse Vans NZ. I asked Heather how she arrived at her decision.
Well, I saw them around when they were first in the district, and I thought about them. In the beginning I thought, oh, that's really a toy. And I thought about it more and I thought, well, yeah, maybe it is a toy, but that's actually quite appropriate for me because I don't want to take out more than 2 horses. I don't want to go thousands of miles. And more importantly, now that we have thoroughbreds and we're breeding, and I'm going up and down the motorway a bit, and there's a lot more traffic on the roads in New Zealand, I don't feel so comfortable about a float and vehicle on the road with a mare and foal. And it was really that's ahead of us that made me think one of these horse vans would be absolutely ideal. So we took the plunge and I don't regret it a bit.
It looks very similar to a car to drive, so you get the benefit of not having to drive a great big truck, but also you've got so much more than you would with a float.
That's right, you don't need an HT to drive one of these, and it is just like a car. It's just like a manual car to get in and drive, feels just the same. You have to be mindful that the wheels are underneath you, not in front of you. That's the only difference if you haven't driven a lorry before. And yeah, and just not having to couple up. I have a bad back and that's been a great relief. The other thing too is that the gear is always in it. With a car and a float, often you get to your destination and you find you've left something in the stable. If you have a lorry, you always have a working set for home and you have a set of gear that you keep in the lorry, and wherever you arrive, you know you've got everything with you. I do really enjoy that too.
There's obviously then plenty of storage for you to keep everything?
Yes, there is. In this one, there's a little kitchen and a wardrobe and hooks and things. It's got everything I need for less than you'd buy a car and float.
And it looks, especially if you're travelling alone and you're responsible for lifting the ramp up and down, it does look extremely light.
Yes, it's spring-loaded as well. And the other thing I like about it being such a low loader, I work alone most of the time and I'm quite confident about training young stock and preparing them for the idea of travelling, because it's not a big high ramp.
Yeah, so by low loader you actually literally mean it's a very small step up from the ground onto the body of the vehicle.
Yes, not a sharp angle at all.
So you find that horses quite willingly walk into the van?
Yes, they do. I have one that can't wait to get in. Yes, they really like it. And in these they travel facing backwards, which is not so common in New Zealand, but if you travel a horse in a stock truck loose, chances are when you stop it will be facing backwards at a slight angle. That's how they want to travel it. The weight distribution's better that way, so they travel backwards in this, which is another thing I like.
And this must be good too, with safety for the horses, rather than a car and a float where they are a little bit further back and you might not be 100% sure what's going on. They're right there behind where you're sitting and you've even got a little window you can see them. Does that give you more peace of mind?
Yes, it does. It's one unit, to me, feels much safer than 2 units. There's just less opportunity for things to go wrong.
Heather chose a Hunter model, which is the mid-range vehicle offered by Horse Vans NZ. She then looked at other vehicles outfitted by the same company to help her decide on some personal touches.
Oh, well, I've got a rack for wine glasses. I think that's very important. And I had some special hooks put up for bridal wear and that sort of thing. And I also, there's a little cupboard for food, and I had a little rail put around the top of it so I could put cans and things up there and just add a little bit, just to maximise the little space. I bought a little lorry and I want to maximise every piece of space I have. So we have a boat, so you get used to the designs of maximising space.
And the paint job, did you have a say in the colour and the finish you wanted?
Yes, I went into town to a panel beater and he showed me 3,000 colours of maroon and magenta, and I chose this and chose the gold, and chose with a friend, we worked out what the design would be with the horse on the side, so I was given carte blanche really, yes.